Here we go.
At my signal, unleash hell.
God bless the geek.
Rules. We don't think so.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Geek Speak Show.
Please make a note of it.
This is the show where you hear everything geek culture.
Have you noticed we've been sharing our culture with you all morning?
Talking movies, comics, video games, TV shows, all from a geek point of view.
People who get it, get it.
If it's geek, we'll speak about it here on the Geek Speak Show. Here are your hosts, Henry and Romo.
That would be us. Welcome to the Geek Speak Show. Hey, everybody. Hey, Romo.
What's going on, man?
A lot.
It's been a while since I've seen you.
Yeah. And I guess it'll be another while again.
Yeah.
Let's make major announcement. Let's make it now. Why wait till the end?
Uh-huh.
Where are you going?
I'm going to be going out of town for a little bit. I got to take a little sabbatical, so I got to take care of some business. So I'll
WPP?
What do you mean by WPP?
Witness Protection Program?
Close, but no cigar. I'm actually going to be joining the FBI, or part of the Fringe Division.
Okay.
I wish.
So you know where Peter Bishop is?
I do, and I'm not going to give any spoilers.
You know which dimension we're actually dealing with on the show?
Now that's tricky. I think there's I think it's the same dimension.
I'm not going to play the spoiler alert.
All right.
Don't spoil anything.
Yeah.
So seriously, Romo is going to leave us for a little bit. He's not leaving forever, just for a little bit. But now, more than ever, you want to leave me alone? Of course you don't. Geek girl.
Yeah, especially not with the geek girl.
Producer Damien, we need him too. But really, we need a geek girl who actually knows what we're talking about. Plus, wouldn't you want to talk to all the big guests we have coming? Don't you want to go to WonderCon? We have actually Image Comic Expo before that.
Yeah.
Everybody that's been complaining about, WonderCon's leaving San Francisco, you do have another one. It's
in the Bay Area too, which is good.
It's in Oakland. It's not like WonderCon or Comic-Con. It's not oversaturated
with movie stars
or TV.
In studios.
It's actually comic books, real comic books. It's going to be celebrating 20 years of Image Comics. All the original founders will be there, including some of their new partners. Mm-hmm. That means, yes, he will be there.
The Walking
Robert
Dead
Kirkman.
Man. Yeah.
The Walking Dead Man.
Yeah.
Robert Kirkman. Okay, yeah, I guess you can call him that when you get there.
He's literally the Walking Dead.
Yeah, he'll be there, and everybody else will be there.
Everyone that's been a part of Image Comics will be there.
And also, they're celebrating independence. Not for the country, independent comics.
Oh, yeah.
So any independent comic, but anybody really is invited. Mm-hmm. I kind of think Marvel won't be there, though. That's just me.
Or DC.
Yeah, DC might, but I don't know about Marvel.
No.
But it will be at the end of February. Yes, we are in February now. Time is flying quickly. But it is the last weekend in February, 24th, 25th, 26th, I believe it is, because we are in a leap year. So there are 29 days this time around in February. But we'll have more info on that as the month goes on. You can be on a part of that. You talking to the potential geek girl co-host that comes on. You can be a part of that because, like I said, you don't want to leave me alone without.
You don't. And there's a lot of geek girls out there, but they just need to make sure to come our way. Go to I won't be there, but I'll be checking my email. Romo at geekspeakshow.com. Henry at geekspeakshow.com.
I was wondering where you're going to go with that.
Oh, what do you mean?
It sounded like you're going to say, I won't be there, but I'll be checking you out.
So send me your emails.
Typical geek guy. So yeah, geek girl at thegeekspeakshow.com. Geek girl at thegeekspeakshow.com. I got to say, honestly, I've gotten a few, but they're not what we're looking for. This show is not TMZ. This show is not the National Enquirer. For whatever reason, girls that have sent us some stuff, and they think that we're covering Kim Kardashian. If you listen to the little spot that we play, it says, do you know the difference between Kim Kardashian and a Kardashian? We're not being funny. Really, do you know the difference?
Oh, that's a good one. We're not talking about her body either.
No. Body of work?
Yeah.
Okay, not too much to talk about there either. But that's not what we're talking about on this show. Obviously, all of you guys know that because you listen a lot. So if you know somebody or if you are a geek girl and you want to be a part of this also, I was talking to, I think it was producer Damien. It's been a while. But this would be perfect for somebody a girl, obviously, who is going to school to be in radio, to be in broadcasting. Mm-hmm. This would be perfect practice for you.
Yeah, it would. And especially going to, interviewing. That's the number one thing. You got to learn how to interview. Being around celebrity. Well, they are celebrities in our geek eyes.
Well, I don't know. I mean, do you consider Christopher Nolan a celebrity?
Yeah, I think so.
Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
The cast of the Avengers. They'll probably be at WonderCon.
They will.
So that's who you're going to have to talk to right off the bat. So this will be perfect practice for you. We won't throw you to the wolves. We'll be there holding your hand every step of the way. But if you're really good, then we don't need to.
We'll be showing her the dark side.
Yeah, we'll do your thing. So again, the Geek Girl at thegeekspeakshow.com, Geek Girl at thegeekspeakshow.com. All we need is a link to your YouTube channel or a link to an MP3 telling us, hey, I'm so-and-so. This is why I should be. You guys will call you in. You'll come in, and the rest will be history. Mm-hmm. So you're getting ready to... You're going to tell us what you're really going to do? You're not really going to be part of the Fringe division.
No, but
it is real, but I don't think you're going to be a part of that.
No, I got to be out of town, and I got to go work in Sacramento. So it's a little far, 5 days a week. So it's only temporarily.
I hear your escort coming now to get you.
You mean the ambulance?
Yeah, I thought it was a cop, but okay, same thing. So
I'm not getting arrested.
I guess we'll say for now, temporarily, this is Romo's last show for now. He will be back before WonderCon, before we all take off to WonderCon. You sure that's not just your escort? Or?
You know what? I think I do need to run because I'm not supposed to be here. I'm on
for
probation.
So, packed show. Let's get it started. I'm not going to sing that song. You know what fan films are?
I do, yeah.
Okay, all of you out there, anybody can make them, obviously, but...
What?
Do you want to know how to really, really make good ones?
I know a lot of good ones, but how do you make them? Yeah, I'm
curious. Does our next guest. Don't go anywhere. You will hear about, maybe even yours, fan film.
Hold on. The Geek Speak Show will be right back.
The Geek Speak Show is conducting a search for the missing element. The Geek Girl's voice. Do you know the difference between Kim Kardashian and a Kardashian? Do you know that Han shot first? Can you explain Inception? Walter or Walternate? Grimm or Fringe? Use these and other amazing facts in discussions with the boys and especially with all the awesome guests on the Geek Speak Show.
All you've got to do is send an email to geekgirl@thegeekspeakshow.com with a link to your YouTube page, or send us an MP3 where you explain why you should be our Geek Girl co-host. It'd be great if you're here in the San Francisco Bay Area so we can have you in studio, but we can Skype it if you're not. So if you're a geek girl, or if you know one, and you're ready to show your knowledge to the world, send an email to geekgirl@thegeekspeakshow.com with a link to your YouTube page or an MP3 telling us why you should be our Geek Girl co-host. We hope to have our Geek Girl co-host in place by March, just in time for WonderCon 2012.
Now you have another way to promote your geek product besides conventions. The Geek Speak Show. The Geek Speak Show has a loyal following that is just waiting for a new app for their smartphone, the most awesomest t-shirt to show off their geek pride, or
insert your product here.
Advertise on the show or on the Geek Speak website, or on both. And you're guaranteed to reach the same audience you'd reach at your favorite con. Interested? Send an email to ads@thegeekspeakshow.com for more information and ad rates. Movie and TV studios, comic book artists and publishers and actors know to come on the Geek Speak Show to promote their projects. Isn't it time you used a show to promote your product? Send an email to ads@thegeekspeakshow.com.
We're back on the Geek Speak Show. Here's Henry and Romo.
Yeah, we're all here. Welcome back to the Geek Speak Show. Look, even producer Damien's in here now.
That's a shocker.
Yeah. He was out, producing?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Being the big fan he is.
Yeah, what else would a producer do? So, welcome back to the Geek Speak Show. So, like I teased a second ago, yeah, Romo's leaving us for a little bit, but not that. Fan films. You know what that is?
Who doesn't?
Fanboy Films.
It's basically a site that is for fans, and and fans make movies.
Yeah, basically any of us can do it, really. Especially today with cameras on your phone, on just about everything.
I mean, I would. I mean, have you seen the one, The Hunt for Gollum? I mean, that's all fans of Lord of the Rings. It's a great one. I mean,
matter of fact, I think we talked about it on the show last year. Who was it? I think it was Joss Whedon said that part of the Avengers was actually filmed using an iPhone. So that, I don't know if that kind of counts as a fan film. Probably not.
No, it won't.
But let's talk to somebody who knows all about fan films. He has a website. We'll talk about that, of course. His name is Fanboy Will. He's on the phone with us now. Will, welcome to the Geek Speak Show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem. So let's start with the obvious question, and that is, what is exactly a fan film?
Well, it can have several different definitions, but basically the core definition is it's a film made by, regular Tom, Dick, and Harry guy off the street, based on an existing property like a Star Wars, an Indiana Jones, a Star Trek, a Batman, a Spider-Man. Basically, it's just, a regular, average, everyday guy saying, hey, let me try and make my own Spider-Man film because Hollywood seems to fuck everything else up. So let me try and make my own film. And they reach into their back pocket, get out their $2, and get a few of their friends together. And sometimes the results are impressive.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, do you think, or do you know, if that is the main reason why they make fan films, is because they don't like the Spider-Mans, the Batmans, and they say, hey, let me do a better version of this?
I think it has a lot to do with it. I think fans are getting, kind of, speaking as a fanboy, we're kind of sick of Hollywood, taking all these things we love and hold so dear to us and screwing them up or changing them in their own little special Hollywood way. So I think it's our way of just saying, you know what, if you can't do it, we'll do it. The hell with you. So.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, Fanboy Will, it's Romo. What's it called?
Romo, how you doing, buddy?
What would you create a website about fan films?
What made me create the website?
Yeah.
Well, basically, it just started off as my friend kind of turned me on to fan films. I knew nothing really about them until college. It was about 2002. I was in college in New York City, and we used to hang out in the media room all the time and watch DVDs and shit on our break. And my friend said, hey, man, come in here and watch this Spider-Man movie. And I'm like, Spider-Man movie? The last Spider-Man movie I knew was that 1970s like stuff with the, the guy got the spray and the shoelaces around the bad guys and stuff. But that was pretty cool, don't get me wrong. But
yeah, I remember that one, actually.
It's like, Spider-Man movie? Since when? So I walk in there, and he shows it to me, and I'm like, this is friggin' incredible. I'm like, look at this guy. He looks like Peter Parker. Look at him. He's on top of this van. The van's moving, and he's swinging around a building on a rope, and he's like risking his life. This isn't even like a regular movie. This is some guy with a VHS camera. And then I saw Green Goblin, and I said, whoa. I was like, this is friggin' awesome, So I said to myself, there's got to be more of these things out there. So I got on the internet, and I just started digging for anything I could find for fan films. It was kind of few and far between back then, but you had a lot of Star Wars stuff, of course. Like Dark Redemption and stuff was a big one back in the day. But yeah, I mean, I just started digging it. I said, hey, man, look at all these guys making their own movies. You know what? I'm gonna make a website because there aren't enough of them out there to get the word of these things out there to everybody, so they all these talented people that exist out there that are making these movies.
Yeah.
So I started Fanboy Theater in basically about 2002, right off when I saw my first one. So I, just started cranking out the website, and more people got in touch with me. I'm talking all over the world saying, I make fan films. I've been on the phone with people, Spain, Japan, all over the place that make fan films. So I basically used it as short definition, as a platform for fan filmmakers to get out there, and to show their work.
Yeah, sounds good. Now,
so hopefully I've done that over the years. Here we are in 2012, and still trying to do it.
Yeah,
still trying to fight the good fight.
Now, do you find them or vice versa?
It's actually kind of like a two-sided thing, but I'd say more or less it's more people emailing me saying, "Hey, I made this great Indiana Jones movie. Check it out." And I'll check it out, obviously. And anyone who sends me a film, I will definitely post about it or at least mention it. I'm not a judge of fan films. A lot of people are extremely harsh. But me, I look at it like, who the hell am I to judge? These people put all their passion and time into it. Who the hell am I to judge them? If I think it needs a little work, I'll tell them it needs a little work here and there. But I'm not going to say it sucks.
Yeah.
That's the worst friggin' fan film I've ever. What a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that to people. I'm going to encourage them. I'm going to say, maybe work on this a little more, or do this a little better next time. That kind of a thing.
As long as you've had said, have you ever denied anyone? Do you remember denying anybody for whatever reason?
I've never denied anybody, but I've got some really weird ones. I mean, I've got films that were like friggin', like you said earlier, like made with a hand cam, and about like an 8-year-old, and he's chasing his brother around the house in a Superman cape and stuff like that. I mean, I think that stuff is cool too, because they would look at it later on and go, "Hey, Dad, look at my movie. I'm Superman,"
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. That's cute, and that's the beginnings, man. That's the beginnings of a fan filmmaker right there.
Hey, that's how Spielberg started. So you never know.
Yeah, exactly. You can't hate, man. He was, in his crib with a bullwhip and a hat on.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes.
Yeah. So again, we're talking to Fanboy Will from fanboytheater.com. You can find that at fanboytheater.wordpress.com, or just go to our link section. It's all on there. Now, have you yourself ever made a fan film, or have you wanted to make a fan film?
I basically have. I don't know if you guys know about Chris Notarilli and Blinky Productions.
Mm-mm.
He turns out tons of fan films. You should definitely check it out. It's Blinky Productions. It's actually blinky_productions.com. He turns out a ton of Batman films, DC films, like The Question. I was actually in The Question #2. I played a part in that. It was on my first ever fan film role.
Okay.
And there's a couple other ones he's done, Catwoman, but he's really good. You should definitely check it out. He was nice enough. I actually helped him film and starred in The Question #2. I played a checkmate agent. And I actually get snuffed like right at the beginning of the movie. It's not a very big role, but I was in it, so that's pretty cool, But I also helped film a little bit of it. There's a scene where the security's chasing the Question and Blue Beetle down the hall because he just freed him from a prison, and I'm basically running after them with the hand cam, and it's shaking, and it's all hectic looking.
Yeah.
So that's basically the only directing I've ever done, or production, or whatever you can call it. I worked on that movie. But besides that, I actually wrote a script for a Hellblazer fan film that never, came to pass. I actually also filmed that with Chris. He was a director for it for me. I was the screenplay writer. And that one never really came to pass, but we always swore one day we'd finish it and do it. So, in the near future, who knows? Hellblazer fan film may happen. You never know.
Yeah, so that he's done it behind, and also that's, like I said, the website about it. So now, if anybody out there is listening to us and saying, hey, my fan film's not featured, and how do they go about contacting you and getting their film on the website?
Very easy. All you got to do is contact me at Fanboy Theater, and the theater is THEATRE, like the old-fashioned spelling, at hotmail.com. And you could just drop me a line and let me know about your project or your friend's project or your best friend's mother's project, and I'll try my very best to get you in there. So,
yeah, and
keep making movies out there, guys, and I'll keep watching them.
Yeah, like you just said, you don't deny anybody, so go ahead and send it in.
Send it in.
Yeah.
Well, I welcome everybody with open arms. I'm like Ellis Island of fan films. Come on, everybody, over here.
And he doesn't check you for lice.
That's
always
right.
a plus.
Yeah.
So, what's out of all the ones you've seen, what would you say would be one of the best fan films you've ever seen?
Well, I have kind of a list in my head I've made of, my favorites. I'd say probably the best ever. That includes production, directing, costumes, acting. I have to say Batman Dead End.
Okay.
It's short, sweet. It's 8 minutes long. All the work is amazing, but the thing with Sandy Collar is I love the guy. He's a friend of mine and everything. So if you're listening, Sandy, don't hate on me. But Sandy actually had a little bit of the coin in his pocket when he made that movie.
Mm-hmm.
So he was able to do things that your average guy really can't do due to lack of budget.
Right.
And he pulled off an amazing. Have you guys seen that?
No, not yet.
You've never seen Batman Dead End?
Mm-mm.
Wow, guys. I feel like coming over to your house right now. I feel like flying.
Do it.
Showing it to us.
I feel like going over there with a whole shitload of fan films on. Hey, guys, check that. Your guys' heads are going to explode, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I get excited when I introduce, virgins to the fan films. They're like, what the hell is that?
Now,
I'll show it to them. And they'll be like, who did this? And I'm like, yeah, some guy from Massapequa. They're like, oh, wow. That's crazy. Look at that. So.
Now, is there a fan film? Now, is there a fan film?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, Fanboy Will. I was going to ask, is there a fan film out there that you haven't seen yet that you would want to be made?
Oh, there's a lot of them. Man, it's hard to say. One of my favorite characters from old comics from the Bronze Age is Jonah Hex. And they made that crappy Hollywood movie, but I'd like to see somebody make a really cool fan film of it. I like the obscure guys a lot. I'd like to see maybe I'll try to think what would be a cool one. You got me here. Like usually I'll be like blah 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 blah.
No, it happens.
Like,
I have some in my head as like I would want to do the Goonies. I mean, I'm a big fan of the Goonies.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a great choice.
And I would always,
Yep.
I would love to play Chunks. I think he was one of the funniest characters in that movie.
That would be awesome. I actually got to interview Corey Feldman on my podcast. He was cool. He was a really cool dude. He was very normal and down to earth, and he wasn't like Mr. Superstar or anything like that. He was really cool. I asked him about Goonies. He's like, you never know. Goonies Part 2. He's like, you never know.
Yeah.
So, who knows? Who knows? Hopefully, things like that will get made. But I actually have a list of like some of my favorites if you want to listen to it or not. One is probably The Nightmare Ends on Halloween. That's the first ever movie I've ever reviewed on my website. And that's from Chris and Blinky a long, long time ago. There's The Green Arrow. I forget the gentleman's name, but we had him on our radio show at one point. Daredevil, the French fan film by David Sario. It was really awesome. And The Green Goblin's Last Stand by Dan Poole, who I mentioned at the beginning. The guy who just made swinging around the buildings on the string and almost getting killed, and turning out an incredible film in the process.
Okay.
Yeah, what's fun? What's great about fan films is that we all don't have to make a film that is already made. Like the Goonies, it's already done. But for anyone that's listening who wants to do their own fan film, they could turn a comic book, their favorite comic book that they have, into into their fan film, right?
That's the beauty of it. I mean, it could be anything. I mean, I've seen stuff like friggin', I don't know, the weirdest, like Sailor Moon. I don't know if you guys are familiar with anime.
Yeah.
But like Sailor Moon, somebody just turned out a Sailor Moon fan film was actually kind of cool. Like obscure video games like Pac-Man the movie. Some guy did a cool parody of Pac-Man, but it wasn't like a guy in a big spongy suit, rah, 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 like trying to chase after people. It was actually kind of clever. So fans out there are very, very clever with what they do, and they tend to turn out some really, really impressive stuff. It never ceases to amaze me. I'm always like, wow, oh yeah, look at wow, oh wow. There are some that I see and I'm like, that was kind of painful, but like I said, I'm no one to judge. So
yeah, and I think I saw it on your site, but there are a lot of fan films that are not live action, but a lot of them are being animated now.
You tend to see some once in a while that are computer helped with the computer generated.
Yeah.
Once in a while, you'll see some kind of crude flash animation that's actually pretty well done. People are they use very good techniques and stuff, so they usually pull off something really cool. One of my buddies, Hank Braxton, did a movie, The Greatest Fan Film of All Time. Have you ever seen that?
Mm-mm.
It's an animated fan film. It's all like regular flash animation.
Yeah. And
he did it like everybody fighting everybody. He had like Lion-O fighting Superman. And he had like Voltron fighting King Kong in the background. Like he tried to fit like everything cool he could into this little tiny animated fan film. And he did a really, really cool job. So you should definitely check that out.
Yeah.
That's Braxton film, Hank Braxton.
Yeah, he's
going to kill me. He's going to kill me. That's actually Larry Longstreth did that one.
Okay.
Not Hank Braxton. I still love you, Hank Braxton, but Larry Longstreth did that one. His film company no longer exists, but you could still see that on YouTube if you give it a shot.
Okay. What was it called again?
It's called The Greatest Fan Film of All Time. Nice title, right?
Yeah.
Not very full of himself.
Nah, not at all.
No, he's a funny guy. He's, not serious.
Yeah, so again, it's Fanboy Will from fanboytheater.com. Fanboytheater.wordpress.com is the actual website. It's on our links section. You can go on there. Will, thanks a lot for coming on and talking about fan films for a little bit for us, and you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it.
All right, Will, and take it easy.
Take care, buddy.
The
Bye-bye.
Geek Speak Show will be right back.
The Geek Speak Show is conducting a search for the missing element. The Geek Girl's voice. Do you know the difference between Kim Kardashian and a Kardashian? Do you know that Han shot first? Can you explain Inception? Walter or Walternate? Grimm or Fringe? Use these and other amazing facts in discussions with the boys and especially with all the awesome guests on the Geek Speak Show.
All you've got to do is send an email to geekgirl@thegeekspeakshow.com with a link to your YouTube page, or send us an MP3 where you explain why you should be our Geek Girl co-host. It'd be great if you're here in the San Francisco Bay Area so we can have you in studio, but we can Skype it if you're not. So if you're a geek girl, or if you know one, and you're ready to show your knowledge to the world, send an email to geekgirl@thegeekspeakshow.com with a link to your YouTube page or an MP3 telling us why you should be our Geek Girl co-host. We hope to have our Geek Girl co-host in place by March, just in time for WonderCon 2012.
Now you have another way to promote your geek product besides conventions. The Geek Speak Show. The Geek Speak Show has a loyal following that is just waiting for a new app for their smartphone, the most awesomest t-shirt to show off their geek pride, or
insert your product here.
Advertise on the show or on the Geek Speak website, or on both. And you're guaranteed to reach the same audience you'd reach at your favorite con. Interested? Send an email to ads@thegeekspeakshow.com for more information and ad rates. Movie and TV studios, comic book artists and publishers and actors know to come on the Geek Speak Show to promote their projects. Isn't it time you used a show to promote your product? Send an email to ads@thegeekspeakshow.com.
Get ready to speak geek on the Geek Speak Show.
And we are back on the Geek Speak Show. Hey, Romo.
Yeah?
What are you crying over there? You're not gone yet.
I know, but
got a few more minutes.
I know.
Yeah, so again, if you guys haven't heard, let me tell you one more time. Romo's going to leave us, not forever, just temporarily going on, what do you call that?
Sabbatical.
Yeah.
And
and
he
will
will
be
be back
back
for WonderCon.
Yeah, so we'll see him there. So let's keep it with the fan films that we're doing. This one definitely would qualify as a fan film. Has to do with zombies. Little different take on it. Not going to give too much away because it's not out yet, but it is coming soon. You guys have heard him before. Help!
I'm alive.
And coming back again, director Justin Berger. Justin, welcome back to the Geek Speak Show.
Hey guys, glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you again. You're welcome anytime around here. So, what is the status of Help! I'm Alive?
Oh, that's a good question. Help 'em Alive is where we're at right now is we're actually shooting the pilot this month, which is really exciting for us. We actually landed an investor who is willing to put in some money into this project, which we're very happy with.
Congrats.
And this is in addition to obviously the money from the Indiegogo, which we raised, which we want to thank everybody who contributed because that was just very awesome. So yeah, we're shooting the pilot, which is going to be about 20 minutes long, 20 to 25. We're not really sure until the editing is done, but we're shooting for about the 22-minute episode. And this is going to introduce everybody to that world, and then hopefully soon after we can get started on the rest of the episodes, at least up to episode 5. But the pilot will definitely be ready to go within the next month or two.
Okay, and for those of you who haven't heard about it yet, obviously you haven't listened to our show because we've been covering it since we discovered it. But you can go on our link section; it's on there, and I think the WonderCon promo is still up there, right, Justin?
Yeah, always.
Yeah, so you can get your first taste, a little taste of Help! I'm Alive. We'll get introduced to that world. Last time you were on, you also mentioned that you were thinking of doing a comic. Is that still in the plans?
Still in the plans. Nothing's moved forward on it yet. We're just kind of focused more on the pilot right now. But the plan is at some point to put out a comic that's more of a prequel to kind of get people up to speed on our world, as it were.
Yeah, but obviously the pilot's more important, like you said.
Totally. Yeah, the pilot is our main focus right now because, that's just the goal is to get that out so people can see where the show's starting and just get a taste for what we want to do an entire season of 13 episodes and beyond. So we definitely want to get the first episode out there so people can see it for free. And then we'll just go from there and see what we can make happen.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, we met you guys at last year's WonderCon. This year's WonderCon, are you guys planning to be there?
Yeah, we're heading down to Anaheim. We're taking a road trip, and we're taking our show on the road, so to speak. And our plan, hopefully, is to premiere the pilot at WonderCon. At best, I would say at worst, we'll just have an extended promo with scenes from the pilot. It really depends on how much we get edited. I know we got a short amount of time here, but we're hoping to get it done. and you'll definitely see something new at WonderCon. It may not be the full pilot, but it will definitely be something that you haven't seen before.
Okay, and again, we're talking to Justin Berger, the director, producer of Help I'm Alive. HelpI'mAlive.tv is where you can find everything. It's up in our links section. And the pilot, when you do film it, are you going to film it all here in California, or are you planning to go somewhere else?
No, I mean, it's all being filmed in the Bay Area. All of it, every last second. Yeah, and that's one of the things we want to do with the show anyway. I mean, there's a couple locations where we might have to travel out of state, but other than that, we want to shoot the entire series in the Bay Area and just keep it local.
Yeah, you got all local actors and everything, right?
Yeah, we got a couple actors who are from L.A. Obviously, John Philbin, who's in the show, he's from L.A.
Right.
And a couple other people, but that's really it. One of our producers is from L.A. But other than that, we're all Bay Area. I wouldn't say we're natives, but we all live here, and a lot of us are natives, but I'm definitely not.
Yeah,
I consider this my home.
Yeah, honestly, I can say I think having been here for a while, not everybody's a native either. Though we've been here for a while, everybody come from everywhere else. But we are native Bay Areans now, I guess you could call us.
Yep.
Also on the website, I see that the merch store is talk about that.
Yeah, we just put up the merch store not too long ago. It was last month, and with the new year, we wanted to come with something new for people, and the easiest way to do that was to just put up the merch store. We got some T-shirts available that are a little different from the T-shirts we had at WonderCon. We have them both up there. There's the one T-shirt with just the Help 'Em Alive logo on the front and the green, and then the website on the back. And then we actually have two websites. We actually have new shirts available in both men's and women's styles and sizes. And they're actually a sports, kind of the NBA or Major League Baseball logo, where you usually see the red and the white and the blue. And you have the person in the center. Well, the person in the center is a zombie. It says Help 'Em Alive on it. And we've got a lot of everybody, every time they see that, they just go bananas and they think it's great. And so we decided, well, that should be a T-shirt. And so those are up for sale right now at the website. And we've also got stickers. And we'll have some more stuff later on. But for now, that's enough to kind of, I think, give people a little taste of Help 'Em Alive they can take home with them. And
they'll probably be available at WonderCon too, right?
Of course, yes. We're actually working on getting our seller permit so we can sell stuff like that.
Sounds good. Will there be any zombies walking around at WonderCon just to promote the film?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you remember last WonderCon, we had our booth babes. We had a couple chicks dressed as zombies and, looking very hot, and a couple other chicks wearing the Help 'Em Alive T-shirts all cut up. And our ultimate goal is to have about 10 of those girls walking around. That is our ultimate goal, but, it really depends on a couple factors. But we are definitely going to have our booth babes there and girls walking around that you'll want to take pictures with because they're going to look super hot.
That's good.
Another reason to go to WonderCon this year. Make the trip over there.
And because it's going to be in Anaheim WonderCon's going to be in Anaheim, you feel that it's going to be popular. It's going to be big, but do you think the exposure would be great because it's a different location than San Francisco? Yeah,
I do. I mean, I think being down in LA area and Hollywood and all that, I think you're going to have a lot of people coming to WonderCon who otherwise wouldn't be coming to WonderCon because it's up in the Bay Area. Whether it's just people coming to visit who are producers or actors or whatever. I just think it's a lot more exposure to the Hollywood scene down there since those people are going to be coming. And you never know what celebrities might, happen to walk past and be like, oh, what's this? And, I guess that's what we're hoping.
Yeah.
But I do feel it'll be a more exposure for us, for the Hollywood scene and crowd.
Yeah, what I'm thinking is, I hope not, but I think it's going to be as big as Comic-Con is.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why it's so big when it's in San Diego, because, everybody goes there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm okay with that. We're going to be there all 3 days, so the more people who see Help 'Em Alive, in my opinion, the better.
Yeah. So just be ready for that, for some chaos, perhaps, because I think they're close to being sold out on passes, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, wow.
So you'll definitely have it exposed there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So you said the Indiegos are over. Is there anything else that our listeners can do to support Help 'Em Alive before the pilot gets done?
Buy a T-shirt. I mean, all that money's going into the production, we're not at a point yet where we're making any kind of profit, obviously. So it's, every dollar that comes in goes right back into the project. You can buy that if you're feeling super generous and you just want to donate to our project. You can just hit us up. There's contact info on our website if you'd like to donate. But again, just buy a T-shirt and then spread the word. Just spread the promo, make people watch it. Just sit them down and say, watch this. Spread the website, Facebook, Twitter, I guess MySpace, just Tumblr, anywhere that you can slap up the promo or the logo or the website, please do, and it all helps.
Yeah, that's definitely what we've been doing since we met you guys. So again, it's Justin Berger, the director and producer of Help I'm Alive, the web series coming to helpimalive.tv pretty soon. If you're going to WonderCon, you'll see them there. Justin will see you there. Finally get to meet you face to face, and Anthony and everybody else.
Right. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys supporting us and spreading the word. You guys have helped out a lot, and just kind of give us a little bit of clout because we're actually being interviewed by an upstanding show. But no, we really do appreciate we've been on. I think this is my third or fourth time I've been on here, and every time I get comments from people saying, "Oh, I heard you on Geek Speak. That was awesome." So again, thank you for the support, and hopefully we'll have a lot more exclusives for you guys coming up very soon.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. Like I said, I love the concept behind it. We can't say too much about it yet, obviously, but you have spoken to us about it privately. I like the concept. I like the fact that it's not just zombies killing people. It'll be different. You'll like you'll like it. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just real quick synopsis for anybody who doesn't know. Our story takes place 20 years after 2012, and there's a zombie apocalypse. But by the 20 years when we pick up, zombies, things have kind of died down. Yeah, no pun intended. But our survivors are living in the mountains of Northern California, and there's things that are more dangerous than zombies out there that they have to deal with, and that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, so like I said, you guys will, you love zombies, you're gonna like this one. It's a little different. So again, Justin Berger, director, producer, Help I'm Alive web series, helpimalive.tv. Links are all up on there. I think we just leave it on there because, like I said, you guys come on so much, so we just leave it on there all the time. And like I said, you're welcome anytime. We'll see you at WonderCon. We'll do some video interviews with you guys down there, and we'll see you then.
That'll be great. I look forward to it, man.
Okay, Justin, see you then.
Bye-bye.
The Geek Speak Show will be back in a moment.
The Geek Speak Show is conducting a search for the missing element. The Geek Girl's voice. Do you know the difference between Kim Kardashian and a Kardashian? Do you know that Han shot first? Can you explain Inception? Walter or Walternate? Grim or Fringe? Use these and other amazing facts in discussions with the boys and especially with all the awesome guests on the Geek Speak Show.
All you've got to do is send an email to geekgirl@thegeekspeakshow.com with a link to your YouTube page, or send us an MP3 where you explain why you should be our Geek Girl co-host. It'd be great if you're here in the San Francisco Bay Area so we can have you in studio, but we can Skype it if you're not. So if you're a geek girl, or if you know one, and you're ready to show your knowledge to the world, send an email to geekgirl@thegeekspeakshow.com with a link to your YouTube page or an MP3 telling us why you should be our Geek Girl co-host. We hope to have our Geek Girl co-host in place by March, just in time for WonderCon 2012.
Now you have another way to promote your geek product besides conventions. The Geek Speak Show. The Geek Speak Show has a loyal following that is just waiting for a new app for their smartphone, the most awesomest t-shirt to show off their geek pride, or
insert your product here.
Advertise on the show or on the Geek Speak website, or on both. And you're guaranteed to reach the same audience you'd reach at your favorite con. Interested? Send an email to ads@thegeekspeakshow.com for more information and ad rates. Movie and TV studios, comic book artists and publishers and actors know to come on the Geek Speak Show to promote their projects. Isn't it time you used a show to promote your product? Send an email to ads@thegeekspeakshow.com.
Now back to the Geek Speak Show.
And we are back on the Geek Speak Show. I'm Henry. That's
I'm Romo.
No, you're Romo.
I know.
Oh, you confused me.
That was a good interview. Help 'Em Alive. You know, every time when someone brings up Help 'Em Alive, I always
You get
think,
hungry for brains?
No, but I think of Iron Maiden, Run to the Hills. For some reason, you know, that's what you got to do when you're being chased by zombies.
Yeah, so again, Justin Berger, thanks a lot. Again, director and producer of Help 'Em Alive, the web series. HelpEmAlive.tv is where you will find it, up in our links section. Like always, when we talk to Justin, we always also speak to Anthony Larice. He is the creator, the writer, the executive producer, and Lauren, one of the actors also. So, Anthony, welcome back to the Geek Speak Show.
It is awesome to be back.
Yeah, good to have you back. So the first question I want to ask you is that, like Justin said, you're finally getting ready to film the pilot. You, as a creator, the one that came up with all of this, how do you feel now that it's fine? You're finally going to go in front of the cameras with it.
We kind of all got a taste for it when we did the promo, so that was exciting. But now that we have the first episode, or the first half of the first episode, I should say, being shot soon, it's definitely super exciting. We've already gone through a couple of rehearsals with our guys, and it's looking better and better and better as time goes on. So we're all pretty jittery at this point. We're just ready to go and do it.
Yeah. Now this happens a lot in a lot of productions, and now that, like you said, you've had a lot of
meetings.
Yeah, but now that you've seen the actors that are playing the roles, have you made any changes based on the actors?
A little bit, yeah. We after we cast, we thought, these people are perfect, and then once we saw them read with each other, it kind of brings out a little bit more of their character. So we kind of went back and looked at the script and altered their lines, their direction a little bit more to kind of meld with these people themselves. And that's, you really need that if you want to, make sure the character feels real, is make sure your actors are somehow acclimated with the character that, we've created for them.
Did any of those changes end up changing the overall arc of the story?
No. All the story is going to be the same, but our characters have changed a little bit. They've kind of evolved with our actors, which is awesome. And, I think the script has gotten better for it.
Yeah, again, we're talking to Anthony Larice, creator, writer, executive producer, the actor who plays Lauren in Help 'Em Alive, the web series, HelpEmAlive.tv. Up in our links section. You guys know that because we've been having him on for so much. Anthony, without giving too much away, what is one scene that you can't wait to film?
There is one, and there's a scene between John and Sydney are our characters. They're sitting in this Jeep, and they're having kind of a deeper conversation. One of them is, scared half to death. The other one's just, half annoyed, half trying to, get his point across. And there's a lot of really good dialogue there, and it really shows the colors of these two characters in almost all aspects. You're going to see, you're going to hear a lot of what they have to say through what they're trying to get across. I don't even know if that makes sense, but it's a really, really powerful set of scenes, and I'm really excited to see that one come across on screen.
It does make sense, actually, and that's actually a little bit of what I was talking to Justin there at the end of our interview with him, is that I'm looking forward to this since we found it last year at WonderCon, not just because it's zombies, but because it's a different take on the zombies, and it's more character-driven than just the zombies, and that right there is a perfect example, what you just said.
Yes, you won't see as many zombies as you would in, say, 28 Days Later or something like that. It's all about our characters, and our story starts a good couple decades after the initial zombie outbreak, so everybody's acclimated with it. They already know what's going on, so it's definitely not a simple zombie story.
Yeah, but they're still there. I mean, everybody who's saying, "No, I don't want to watch those zombies," they're still there. They're just not the central point of the story.
Exactly. They're you still need to know that they're dangerous. While we all know what they can do and how to avoid it, you can always be surprised.
You know what I was thinking when I was watching the TV show Terra Nova. I don't know if you watched it or not. I was thinking that Help 'Em Alive is kind of like that, where Terra Nova, the biggest draw was there's dinosaurs there, but they're not really featured in the story. That you know that they're there, but it's more character driven. Is that kind of like what Help 'Em Alive is going to be?
I can't say that I've seen Terra Nova. I saw the first episode, and it was interesting. I was going to go back and watch a little bit more of it, but I've been pretty busy. But yes, that's about what it is. You know, it's very character driven. The story doesn't revolve around the zombies. It revolves around, you know, what's going on to these people, what's going on with these people, and how they're coping with not just, you know, they're living in this dangerous world, but they're coping with each other. If someone has a problem, we have to fix it. But through fixing a problem, you know, something else is going to get raised. Plus, we have, you know, more dangerous things than zombies out there, too, so we'll end up touching on that as well.
Yeah, so again, it's Anthony Larice, creator, writer, executive producer, actor, plays Lauren in Help 'Em Alive, the web series, coming pretty soon. The pilot is coming pretty soon, and we'll, like Justin mentioned, we'll see you guys at WonderCon. The Indiegogo is over. I asked Justin, let me ask you, Anthony, is there any way that the listeners can help now that the pilot is about to get filmed?
Yes. If anybody would like to help, it would be greatly appreciated. We love, you know, having people come up to us and asking if they can help. All help is appreciated, and there's always something for someone to do. If you do happen to have something that you'd like to do for us, just go onto our website, helponlive.tv, click our contact link, and then just shoot us an email. We'll be able to get back to you pretty much immediately. I think we all get our emails on our phones now, so we'll be able to get back to you as soon as we can, and you know, we can work something out.
Yeah, again, it's helponlive.tv up on our link section, all easy for you, all in one place. So again, Anthony, thanks a lot. Congratulations on finally going in front of the cameras with it, and like I said, we'll see you at WonderCon.
Thank you very much. We're looking forward to seeing you as well.
Okay, Anthony, take it easy.
All right, man. Have a good one.
The Geek Speak Show will be right back. The Geek Speak Show is conducting a search for the missing element. The Geek Girl's voice. Do you know the difference between Kim Kardashian and a Kardashian? Do you know that Han shot first? Can you explain Inception? Walter or Walternate? Grim or Fringe? Use these and other amazing facts in discussions with the boys and especially with all the awesome guests on the Geek Speak Show.
All you've got to do is send an email to geekgirl@thegeekspeakshow.com with a link to your YouTube page, or send us an MP3 where you explain why you should be our Geek Girl co-host. It'd be great if you're here in the San Francisco Bay Area so we can have you in studio, but we can Skype it if you're not. So if you're a geek girl, or if you know one, and you're ready to show your knowledge to the world, send an email to geekgirl@thegeekspeakshow.com with a link to your YouTube page or an MP3 telling us why you should be our Geek Girl co-host. We hope to have our Geek Girl co-host in place by March, just in time for WonderCon 2012.
Now you have another way to promote your geek product besides conventions. The Geek Speak Show. The Geek Speak Show has a loyal following that is just waiting for a new app for their smartphone, the most awesomest t-shirt to show off their geek pride, or
insert your product here.
Advertise on the show or on the Geek Speak website, or on both. And you're guaranteed to reach the same audience you'd reach at your favorite con. Interested? Send an email to ads@thegeekspeakshow.com for more information and ad rates. Movie and TV studios, comic book artists and publishers and actors know to come on the Geek Speak Show to promote their projects. Isn't it time you used a show to promote your product? Send an email to ads@thegeekspeakshow.com.
Playing the music you're not ashamed to admit you listen to. This is the show where you hear everything geek culture. This is now the Geek Speak Show.
It is, and I'm still Henry. He's still Romo. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man.
He's doing fantastic. His goodbye show, not forever. He's just going to leave us for a little bit. He will be back by WonderCon.
I will, and I will have a good costume by then. Probably a villain costume.
Oh, a cosplayer, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so let's continue on our femme film trek, I guess we can call it here. We've been dealing with a lot of them today. So this one is one that I found. Actually, they started following our Twitter. And I went there. You've seen the pilot.
I saw the pilot. Really good.
Really, really good. Really funny. I actually wasn't expecting that, but it is really, really funny. It's called 4 Villains. You guys can find it online, 4villains.org. The number 4 Villains. If you don't know how to spell, can't really help you.
It didn't make sense. This whole the film is 4 villains.
Yeah, so let's talk to the creator, director, producer, and one of the actors, plays Shadow Snake in 4 Villains, Jeff Saamanen. Jeff, welcome to the Geek Speak Show.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's good to be here.
Yeah, like I said, we really enjoyed 4 Villains. It's really funny, really fun. So, for anybody who hasn't seen it yet, tell us about 4 Villains.
Well, 4 Villains is sort of a passion project of mine with my cast and crew. And we thought, with the event of things like Firefly and all these other shows being canceled on major news and TV, we decided, well, why don't we make something where the fans decide whether or not it keeps going or not. And so we came up with the idea of 4 villains, these 4 inept supervillains trying to rise to power in a comic book world, and just kind of rolled with it from there and been in full production for the past 2 years.
Yeah, why don't you guys focus on the villains rather than superheroes?
Well, superheroes are everywhere. I mean, you get superhero cartoons, comic books, and everything. You rarely see the villain side of things. And we also thought they could add a humorous thing to it, too, because you don't usually see the villains succeeding in life, so why don't they succeed? So we decided to kind of delve into that. And that's where it kind of came from there.
Yeah, because we're talking to Jeff Saamanen, creator, director, producer, actor, also plays Shadow Snake in 4 Villains. 4villains.org is the website up on our link section. You can go on there, check out the pilot that is out there. Like I said, it is really funny. Is that how it's going to stay more comedic, or will it start turning darker as it goes along? Don't give too much away, though, by the way.
Yeah. Well, over the first course of the first season, we're basically introduced to most of the characters and getting the world set up. It is kind of a drama comedy, so we will be leaning towards a bit more of the darker drama as we move forward and as our villains get more powerful. So expect for some deep story, a long overarching plot throughout our seasons, and a lot of character development.
Sounds good. Hey, Jeff, it's Romo. Who are the actors and crew for 4 Villains?
Well, our main actors, we have Dr. Don't, who's played by Devin Douglas, and Laura Lapidat plays the lovely Synapse. Justin Guthrie plays the Evil Hidden, our invisible compatriot, and then, of course, myself as Shadow Snake. We have a lot of supporting cast, which we haven't revealed yet, as they have yet to be in an episode, but they're coming up pretty soon, and they're all very talented, very awesome actors, a lot spawning from theater acting. And then our crew is between ourselves at Urban Fox Media, which is the group that we put together of our people, and as well as Foxhound Digital, which you can check out online. They are a group of filmmakers, cinematographers that we kind of hooked up with locally here in Victoria, Canada.
Sounds good. Now, the opening villain bar scene looks similar to Star Wars Cantina scene. Was that your intention?
Well, it makes some Star Wars and Firefly is kind of where I'm going with that as my own personal project.
Yeah, that's what I got, Firefly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Firefly is one of my favorite shows, and the original trilogy of Star Wars is by far my favorite set of movies ever. After Army of Darkness, of course, because Bruce Campbell's my hero.
Sounds good. And in Shadow Snake, what was the idea behind him as far as when you created him?
Well, at first we needed a kind of a comedy element that could lend towards the kind of the caboose from Red vs. Blue kind of style comedy. And so Shadow Snake kind of came in from there, and his kind of past is a checkered one from being born in the 16th century and tossed through time forward to now. So he's kind of the ignorant one who doesn't really understand the customs and the logic of the current century, and so he's constantly, stepping over the bounds and saying things that you generally wouldn't want to say in public, just because he's so ignorant to this current age.
Yeah, was 4 Villains the video? What came first? The intent was the comic. Are you guys thinking of doing a comic or the video, or vice versa?
Well, we started with the 4 Villains, the series. We wanted to make something. We're all aspiring filmmakers. We've always wanted to get into doing our own series, so we slapped this together. And then the webcomic came up because of our talented artist, Michael Allen. He's worked on quite a few comics. He's an amazing artist. And he wanted to get more involved, more hands-on, besides just doing some of our ads and stuff. So he put down the webcomic together, and ever since it's been running strong.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it's Jeff Saamanen on the phone with us. Creator, director, producer, and actor. 4 Villains. The number 4villains.org is the website. It's up on our link section. You can just go on there. The pilot is out. Jeff, what can our listeners do to help the production out?
Well, first and foremost, we have our Indiegogo campaign. The first one's coming to an end, but because we'll be starting up a second one to raise funds to make our Season 1 happen. If the fans want to see Season 1 happen, they're more than welcome to donate to us through Indiegogo or send donations to us through the website. You can also sign up on 4villains.org and start our role-playing forum. You can level up, earn points, unlock achievements, play in our Flash Arcade, as well as get involved with the 4 villains themselves, talk to the cast and crew who are actually on the site as our characters, and just make a villain of your own and join the extended universe of 4 villains.
How many episodes is the first series supposed to be?
The first season will have a total of 10 episodes, and then that's including the pilot, and then from then on, every season after will be 10 episodes. Each episode's 30 minutes in total, but that will be split up into 2 parts each month, so you get 2 10 to 15 minute episodes each month, and then a mix of our side series, Hench 220, in between each episode.
Besides interviews like this, how are you getting the word out? Are you planning on going on to conventions or anything like that?
Yeah, in fact, yes, we are. We have SukinoCon coming up in Victoria here, a local con, and then we're going over to Vancouver for Fan Expo in April, and we're really looking forward to that because I do believe we might be able to meet Adam West in character, so I'm pretty excited about that.
So is Romo your favorite?
Yeah. Will you guys be dressed in your full character outfits at the con?
Yes, we will. We always go in full character. I mean, we usually put on a panel in which my main cast are usually in character. I usually wear, some nicer clothes because I'm presenting as the director creator. But then the rest of the con, I gear up, and the rest of us gear up, and we walk around and just talk to people, get to know our fans, and get the word out to people about 4 villains.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Have you ever thought about coming over here? Like, obviously, there's a big one, San Diego Comic-Con, or anything in the States?
Yes, we are looking to come down to San Diego Comic-Con this year. In fact, we're looking at getting ourselves a booth and getting some signing, and hopefully trying to put on a small panel or event for everyone. And then our booth will have a computer set up so people can come and check out the episode and sign up on our site to get involved with the show. Because as a main part of our show, we want to be interactive. So our fans on our website telling their stories will be featured in the episodes and our mini short videos and everything, and really drive the story of 4 villains, and even have a chance to star in an episode either webcam or in person if they can make it.
Yeah, I don't know if you know about these or not. There's a couple actually before San Diego. There's one coming up this month, as a matter of fact, here in Oakland, California. It's called Image Expo Con. Then also WonderCon that used to be in San Francisco, but now it's going to be in Anaheim. So there's those two, and same audience as Comic Con, just a little smaller.
Yeah, I'd love to make them, but again, we're zero budget series right now, so we're working towards it. But not this year, but next year we're going to be trying to get as many conventions as we can. We want to get out there and meet our fan base. We want to get out there and meet and greet people who could be our fan base, and because it surely is an interactive series, and we are just as much geeks as the people who watch our show are. So.
Yeah, we talk to a lot of fan films that we see at conventions, or we just meet online, and our listeners, the fans that go to these conventions, they really, really love meeting them, and they feel like it's their own, like it's their, not a Tom Cruise kind of thing. It's actually, like us making films.
Exactly, and I think that's the great part about web series, and especially the industry itself, is that it is a sense of community. I mean, over the past 2 years, I've just got into this series and kind of just bit into it and ran with it, and ever since we started, we've met quite a few great series, Standard Action being a good one. They're also coming over this week to come to GotaCon in Victoria, and then a couple other series down in the States. Generic Girls, another one that we're kind of liaising with, we want to do some crossovers with. But it's that sense of community that I think really shines through for the web, especially just web entertainment in general, opposed to broadcast television, is that the people who are making it are the people who are passionate about that, and I feel that's what TV has lost, is the passion. And I really respect all the other filmmakers who are doing this just as well as us because of that passion and drive.
Yeah, on that note also, a lot of the first one that comes to mind is the Mortal Kombat web series. A lot of real actors are jumping on to the video web series.
Yeah.
Do you think that makes it a legit, or it kind of commercializes it too much?
It's an interesting concept to talk about. I mean, Tom Hanks now is also signing on with, I believe, Yahoo for his web series,
right.
And everything. It's I think it's a good step forward, because for the longest time I'd say the word web series and people would be like, what? And then I'd have to go on and say, oh, it's a TV series that is specifically streamed over the web for people to watch, and then people started getting it. But as we've been pushing web series more and more, and as the IAW TV Awards just happened with sponsorship from a bunch of places, we're starting to become more mainstream. People are starting to look at web series a little more seriously, and I think that's kind of why we decided to start doing it, especially now, is because it is starting to become more realistic to do that way, and people can get their entertainment on demand, and they can watch shows created by independent filmmakers that are just as good, if not better in some cases, than broadcast television. So I think it's a good thing that it's starting to leach over into mainstream, but I always think that the key that to web series is to make sure we keep that sense of community. And I think even if the big stars start coming in, we can still keep that because it's about the filmmakers, not the people who are starring.
Right. Agree with you 100%. So again, it's 4 Villains, number 4, villains.org is the website. You can check the pilot. It's up. It's completed. It's up on there. How soon do you hope to have the second episode done?
March 5th is our release of part 1 of episode 1.
Okay, so be on the lookout for that. Again, it's up on our link section. You can keep following them on there. Indiegogo is going to start pretty soon. Give them a hand. Jeff Saamanen is the creator, director, producer, and the actor. Plays Shadow Snake in 4 Villains, the web series. Jeff, thanks a lot for coming on and telling us all about 4 Villains. You're welcome back anytime also.
I had a great time, guys. It was good to meet you and finally speak with you guys. And to all the geeks out there, keep rocking it.
Okay, Jeff, thanks a lot. Take it easy.
You too. Bye.
The Geek Speak Show will be back in a moment. We're back on the Geek Speak Show.
Please make a note of it.
This is the Geek Speak Show. I am Henry. You are
Romo.
Yeah, even producer Damon jumped in for this. How about that? Hello. So, fan films. We've been talking about them all for the show. 4 Villains. Help Them Alive. You've had them on before, and really anybody can do those.
Yeah,
nowadays
I can.
Like we mentioned, Joss Whedon said that last year he filmed some of the Avengers on an iPhone camera.
Yeah,
so I don't think it counts as a fan film. It could. Joss is a fanboy. He said himself.
Anyone can do it, but it takes skill, and that's the number one thing. You need some skill at least to get your message across,
or somebody to show you how to use that skill.
Yeah, I mean that's perfect. That's what someone needs, and if.
Well, good. I'm glad you said that because I happen to have somebody on with us who can show you that skill.
That's good.
Old friend of mine, personal friend of mine, but you may have seen, especially if you live in the Florida area, or if you watched the Fox News a few years ago, you may remember a reporter named Amani Channel. Guess who's on with us now right now? It's Amani Channel.
The Amani Channel. Can you believe that? What's up, Henry? What's up, Romo?
Amani Channel?
That's what they used to call me in my old station. They would say, hey, when are you going to start your own channel, Amani? We'll call it the Amani Channel. So it's just like, whatever. Little joke, I guess.
Yeah. So, like I said, you actually have gone from in front of the camera to behind and showing people how to use these skills, right?
Yeah, so my background, I worked. I started in radio with Henry at College of San Mateo many moons ago, and then I ended up moving into the television.
We're not that old.
Well, a few moons ago, like a couple.
I am, but he's not.
When was it? 1995, I think.
He's got to tell him exactly when.
Oh, see, that's kind of many to me. That's many to me. And so, I worked as a news reporter for about 10 years, and then I work in PR, broadcast PR now. And then on the side, I started a video production tutorial site about a year ago, like in February, called webvideochefs.com. And a partner of mine, he's actually in Baltimore. We just, ever since YouTube came out, like in 2005-06, we really started doing tutorials, and then we just decided let's team up and start showing people, answering people's questions, really helping people who want to produce quality videos, because everybody has a cell phone camera, right? Everyone has a cell phone. Cell phones have cameras. You have a flip cam, pocket camera. There are of course higher end cameras. Yeah. So it's really easy to try to create a video, but to really do it effectively, like you guys were saying, I mean, you really do need to apply some basic production principles if ever you really want to create something of quality and share a message.
Yeah, and on that point, is there one skill that you think that today's editors, whether professional or just for fun on YouTube or whatever, is there one skill that they should learn to help them out?
This is a really generic answer, but it's really you have to learn how to tell a story, and it takes more than just editing. It's in the videography, it's in the interviewing, it's in the voiceover, the photos that you select, the length of the shots. I mean, it's a little bit of everything that goes into it. Now, that being said, you can create a pretty simple video with your webcam. You can just turn on your webcam, try to frame it up, make sure the lighting is okay, and just talk to the camera for however long you want to talk and create a video that way. And there are some pretty successful video podcasters, video bloggers who've done that. But if you really want to create like a documentary style story, it really starts with your planning. It really goes, it starts with the planning. So even before you guys started this show, I'm sure you guys were talking about what's the concept behind Geek Speak Radio. And so you kind of come up with a plan, you figure out how to execute the plan, and then you execute it, and then you go into editing, which is actually the final part of the production process. So it's having an understanding of all three elements: pre-production, which is planning, production, the shoot, and then post-production, which is the edit, that can really help you out in the long run, I think, if you really want to seriously produce videos. Yeah,
and going with that, actually, is like you said, you can just point a camera a webcam at yourself and just talk for as long as you want, really. But what would give you like the 1 million hits, 2 million hits? What will make it interesting? How do you make your videos interesting? Is what I should say.
Cats, boobs, dogs,
dancing
babies.
squirrels.
Yeah, exactly. But it takes work. So YouTube is a community. It's a place where people actually talking, having conversations, sharing content. So it takes work. I mean, yeah, you can have that video where you capture something unusual, or you capture that moment that everybody wants to share the video because it's so funny. Like there was the funny things the white girls say to black girls, or whatever it was. I think you guys probably. And there were so many variations of that video that came afterwards. But something that's funny, something that
it's original too.
That's original, people can relate to. And then, if you're talking about, sharing information, really finding a niche. So, of course, my specialty is video production. So, thus, I'm creating video tutorials. But let's say someone is an expert in green construction techniques. They could create a podcast or a vlog all about that specific niche and build an audience or community even around that content. So, it's really finding a niche, something specific that you want to talk about instead of being, generic, finding something really key that you want to share, and then building your audience that way. And it takes work. Everybody wants to get that viral video, as they say, but very few videos. I think it's like 60 hours of content's being uploaded every hour, something ridiculous to YouTube right now. So think about all that content that's being uploaded. How many videos are really getting 1 million or 2 million hits? Probably percentage wise, it's pretty low.
Is the key being funny or entertaining, or a combination of both?
I think it's a combination of both. I think it's a combination of being funny, entertaining, and then being yourself. So letting your personality shine through. I mean, you guys work in radio, so I'm sure you've developed your personas over the years. But, with TV, with video, with, internet video, it's kind of the same. You have to develop your online persona. And in that, you have to be yourself, of course, be genuine, and then really try to create quality content that people will want to come back and see again.
So we're talking to Amani Channel, content producer, one of the co-founders of webvideochefs.com. We'll have a link on that on our link section. Yeah, where else would it be? So Amani, like you said, you and I go way back. We both started in radio here locally in the San Francisco Bay Area. I had a long talk with some of my radio mentors before I decided to do this podcast, the Geek Speaks podcast. Easy for me to say. Basically, the message I got from them is it's not dying, but radio and traditional media is on its way out because of, like what you said, all the YouTubes and all this stuff now. Would you agree with that or no?
I would say that it's kind of a paradigm shift that's occurring right now. So traditional media will probably always be around. We'll probably always have radio. We'll probably always have traditional TV. But certainly online is where, it's actually transforming. So we might, traditional will always be there, but I think that internet is certainly going to have a big stake in the media consumption and the content creation. You no longer just have to wait for people to tell, you no longer have to tune in to 5 or 6 to watch the news, right? You can be on Twitter, you can be on Facebook, you can, you can create some video content and share it on YouTube, and it can, basically be a citizen journalist. So it is definitely changing right now. I've had this conversation for years. I started creating, videos on YouTube probably in 2006. And so I've kind of watched as, social media has kind of gone mainstream and YouTube's gone mainstream and become everything. Twitter's become a household name. But it's all part of media now. it's all media. So you can't really say that it's going to go away. But I do think that for folks who want to survive, like, in the radio business, that, the cluster stations, the same company owning like 5 or 6, whatever the limit is in a market. It's cut down on the job opportunities for even announcers. And there are people who announce shows in multiple cities, but they're in one location doing it. So the internet has now afforded folks like yourself to go out on their own, create their own brand, create their own content. And I think it's very empowering. I love the state that we're in right now. I no longer have to work for a traditional news outlet to share something that may be important to me. So I think it's very empowering for folks who may want to go out there and do what you're doing right now.
Yeah, like I said, when I talked to my mentors about this, that was the answer they gave me also. And I'd been doing radio even before you and I met back in school. I went to school only because back then, this is how way back I go, as you say. You needed a license to be on the air. That's why I was going to school for that. But
That's right.
Yeah, I'd been doing radio for about 8 years before that. Now, creature of habit that we are, took me a while to realize that, okay, yeah, I got to move, I got to progress into, you know, how you deliver. Not you know, you still got to be entertaining, like you said earlier, and all that, but it's the delivery method that's changing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, you talk about mobile too. I mean, that's going to be a big part of like the future. So, you know, 2 years ago or 3 years ago, we were just, you know, talking about computers and internet and, you know, Google or whatever it may be, you know, social networks. But now, like, you have tablet computers, you have iPads and, you know, Android tablets and the like. I mean, it's all changing really quickly, but it's the ability to reach people where they want to consume their media. That's really where folks need to be. If you're looking to work in the media, you have to understand how people are sharing media. You have to understand how people are communicating now, sharing links, because you know, for folks like I have a news background, obviously, though I started in radio. And so there are often times when like students will come ask me, you know, I really want to be a news reporter. I'm like, well, I really think that digital is going to be a big part of the future and where we're going. So, yeah, you could want to be on TV and you know, one man bandit. Like when I was working in news, I had a cameraman always. But now a lot of big markets, even like I think Cron in the Bay Area, they have reporters who shoot, edit, write, do everything. That's become the standard. And for me, I don't necessarily want to do everything. I want to do what I enjoy doing the most, which when I was reporting, it was just asking the questions and writing the story. That being said, these days you have to have a little bit of every skill to really succeed, I think, in this business, especially the online. I mean, you have to understand how, you know, to syndicate a RSS feed or to create, you know, an iTunes feed for your show. I mean, all that stuff is really important these days.
Yeah, I remember when you and I were in school, I used to tell you guys, you know, learn everything as much as you can now more than ever, like you said. It really is important.
Oh, definitely, man. I mean, you can't just underestimate it. And you know, I look at just where the jobs are going. Like, you know, the digital is where it's at right now. It's where everybody wants to be. It's like, you know, actually, one of the reporters in my brother's station, my brother actually works at Cron not Cron, at KNTV. Forgive me, Salim. And one of his reporters at his station hit me up on Facebook asking me to, you know, like her, you know, her fan page. And he's like, yeah, all the reporters now are trying to reach out via Facebook now to get people interested in their story. So, yeah, it's all become really mainstream now. And it's really interesting because, you know, now instead of waiting to watch the news, you just, you know, you get it delivered to you. So whether it be through your email, through Facebook, through Twitter, I mean, the important news will find its way to you. The important information will find its way to you. You will, whether you subscribe to it or whether someone shares it with you. You know, it's all out there now.
Yeah, I can say the last couple of years I've seen that trend in my own life. I don't know if you remember or if you heard about it down in Atlanta, the big San Bruno fire that we had.
PG&E fire.
The PG&E. Yeah. Oh man, I heard about. You know, I stay on the SF gate because like I got to stay up with my Bay Area news, man. That's the home soil. So yeah, I definitely know about that craziness.
Yeah, but I remember we were at a movie premiere and the way we found out about it was through Twitter.
Yeah.
Yep.
This past year, Al Davis passing away. I found out through Twitter, not through, you know, local sports stations or KMBR, like you said, or any of those. I found it through Twitter. So yeah, that is how everybody's getting their news now.
Right. And for instance, like today with Don Cornelius passing away, like the first thing I found out was Don Cornelius passed away. I found out on Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's, I mean, like someone in my office actually found out, and then I went on Google and looked it up, and then I Facebooked it. But I mean, if you look at like the Facebook feed from today, I mean, a lot of my friends and colleagues and associates were talking all about Don Cornelius, rest in peace. I mean, he was really a pioneer.
One thing I was going to mention, I was talking to another fellow colleague, and she works at another radio station, and it's weird because now for people to clarify, to get their facts straight, you know, before you wouldn't believe the stuff that's on Facebook. You would go to an actual news source to clarify, okay, he did pass away. But now people are resorting to Facebook as their source of, okay, it's true.
Yeah, and I think that there's some danger in that because there have been a couple times where I've been burned, not necessarily on Facebook, but definitely on Twitter. There was a situation where we had some bad storms a couple of years ago, and someone had tweeted out that I don't know, a road was being shut down or something. And I retweeted it. And one of my reporter friends actually who follows me was like, Amani, I just talked to the, you know, PIO and they said that's not true. So you definitely have to watch, watch the content that's being shared. And it's, you know, like before I shared it on Facebook, I went to like foxnews.com not to say I prefer Fox over another station, but that's the source that I found when I Googled it, came up right away. Because it's important to verify still. And that's why traditional media, like I said, it's not going to necessarily go away because, you know, as much as we rely on Facebook and the Twitters, you know, we still want that credible source of information before you go spreading it. Because the last thing, you know, I'm sure you guys want to do, the last thing I want to do is share a rumor, you know, that's not true, somebody passing, some sort of event that's going on. I mean, that's, you know, being a reporter, being a gatekeeper, sharing information, I mean, it's a big responsibility as well. And I think that, you know, for guys like you and I mean, you have to assume that it's not true until you see it from a credible news source. And even that's not to say the mainstream doesn't get it wrong, because mainstream gets it wrong all the time. But they have, you know, certain standards put in place so they aren't as likely to get it wrong.
Now, with people using YouTube, I find YouTube as being an opinion-based site where people just give their reviews on everything and how they feel. Do you think that can danger the fact that if they want to be a credible source, or the fact that, you know, maybe they want to be taken seriously and not just a simple YouTube opinion?
Yeah, I think it just depends upon the audience. So, you know, there's some sites like the Associated Press has a YouTube channel. Wall Street Journal just announced that they're going to have a presence on YouTube. So, you know, for individuals who are just looking to have, like, if they're a comedian and they're just trying to, you know, rag on their favorite celebrity, I mean, you kind of have to consider the source. So it's up to each individual to kind of vet who they're tuning into, as it were, and then make that decision. Okay, is this guy credible? Is he not credible? I mean, you can look at the comments and really tell, like, people will call, you know, individuals out who aren't providing credible information, right? I mean, if you're spewing BS, you'll get called on it in social media. So there's kind of this self-correcting that goes on within the you know, ecosphere of social media. But if you want to be taken seriously, I say, you know, definitely, you know, share good information, talk about things that you know about. And that's the thing, like, there are folks who talk about only things that they hear about or that others have talked about. That's really what the danger is. You know, folks who are just repeating what they've heard, those hearsay type of podcasters, you know, for folks who, you know, are sharing what they know, there's probably little to no danger in tuning into those people as sources. But like I said, your BS meter will go off if you see one of those guys out there.
Exactly. Then we're talking to Amani Channel, content producer and one of the co-founders of webvideochefs.com. Amani, before we let you go, tell us a little bit more about Web Video Chefs and also the classes that you're teaching.
Yeah, so I'll get into the class. So right now I'm teaching a class at University of West Georgia. It's a video production class focusing on studio techniques and then electronic field production. So I'm trying to whip the students into shape. I told them that I'm going to treat them like professionals. I'm just giving them the real basics, though, you know, understand the process of video production, understand the basic equipment. And then with that, Web Video Chefs is just you know, each week we try to share a new tutorial each week. The one that I just did last week, we need to update it this week, but and I'm sure this is going to be on the internet for perpetuity, so it's going to be different anyways when you go to the site. But yeah, they're just, you know, simple tutorials, usually 1 to 5 minutes. They get into something really specific. Sometimes we'll be answering a question that someone has asked of us. Sometimes it's just a little trick that we figured out. But it's all like, you know, with software that we use, it's all just tips to help folks improve their video production skills. I can't stress enough how important I think video production video is these days. Like, I want to see you guys right now when I'm talking to you. Like, I do Skype interviews with video because I like to see who I'm talking to. And that's where we are right now. Like, you guys could probably do a video cast of your show at some point as well, which will help you, you know, in terms of people saying, oh, that's Henry, you know, that's Romo. So you know, I'm just trying to help people step up their video production skills and just provide some great information.
You don't want to do that. As you know, I do have a face for radio.
You got a face for radio. No. Never.
No, so again, it's Amani Channel. He's a content producer and one of the co-founders of webvideochefs.com. Now, people want to see those tutorials. Do they have to sign up for anything, or is it just free?
No, right now everything is free. Our idea is to at some point make it by subscription or whatever they call it, put it behind some sort of wall. But right now, folks can register for free. They can sign up for our newsletter for free. We'll send them weekly updates. Anytime we put a new tutorial up, we'll send out a little blast to remind folks of what we have and share some credible tips. It's all free content right now. We will be producing some premium training at some point, which I would say we have some now, but you know, with a full-time gig, a 3-year-old, it's just a work in progress. But it really is a labor of love. And like, if you're interested in learning about video production, I would encourage you just to go check it out. Like I said, everything is free at the moment. And, You know, like the Forbes.com actually did a write-up on us and showed us some love. And that's sort of the power of social media and like video PR, because, you know, I didn't reach out to this writer for the Forbes. He just found our tutorials, did a little write-up on us, and then that's, you know, helps share the information. So, you know, from doing videos, there's a lot of benefits there's PR, there's exposure, there's building relationships, there's marketing. I mean, it's all wrapped in a video. And so I just want folks to really learn how to leverage it and use it effectively.
Yeah, so take advantage of that. As you say all the time, it's free.
It's free knowledge. I
mean,
that's
$3.99 is what you say all the
That's
time.
how I learned how to tie a tie.
Yeah, and I okay. And like I said, Mr. Channel knows what he's talking about, so I do suggest you guys go on there. So Amani, thanks again for coming on and talking to us for a little bit. I'm proud to say I knew you when, and I'm glad to see that you've gotten a lot of success since then.
Hey, same here, Henry. It's good to talk to you, bro.
Yeah, you
good
too.
luck with everything. Great to be on the show.
We'll keep in touch. We'll probably have you on again in the future.
No doubt.
So take care again. It's Amani Channel, webvideochefs.com. Go on there. You can learn how to make your videos better or how to start doing them.
Yeah.
So Amani, take care, and we'll talk to you later.
Peace.
And now here's the Geek Speak Show Book Club. Here's Henry and Romo.
And our books. Welcome to the Geek Speak Show. Welcome back to the Geek Speak Show, I should say. All right, you want to go first or should I go first?
I think you should go first.
Why? Ladies first?
Ladies
All right,
first.
Whatever. So, my book for this week is called The Dinosaurs Are Dead. Yeah, it sounds like a kid book. It is, but it's actually for grown-ups.
Really?
The way it's described,
It looks like a kid's book.
I got this, and I met the writers. I think you were there also at Ape last year.
I was.
Under Press Expo. Stephen and Travis Lindquist, illustrated by Miguel Cervantes. It's called The Dinosaurs Are Dead. Like they describe it as a kid's book,
but for adults,
but not for kids. And it isn't. Not just the subject matter, but the language is not very kid friendly. As a matter of fact, I mean.
That
Look
is
right
cool.
there.
Yeah,
I'm going to bleep you if you say it, but see what it says right there?
That is awesome.
Yeah, so that's not for kids. So this book basically explains, I won't give anything away, but it explains the real reason why the dinosaurs went extinct. Oh. And you'll like it because it looks, as you can see, it looks like a comic book. It's comedy. There's a lot of violence.
And it's funny for adults.
Yeah. So again, it's called The Dinosaurs Are Dead, The Truth Behind the Extinction by Stephen and Travis Lindquist, illustrated by Miguel Cervantes. Have a link on it on our book club section so you can buy it on there. I don't believe it's in stores yet. It will be soon, but you can get it on there.
I'm going to have to read that after. It looks really good.
Yeah, I'll be your library. You can borrow it from me.
And you can borrow mine as well. And I think you'll like this one. It's called Go Mutants by Larry Doyle. And you know what's funny about Larry is that he was the author for I Love You, Beth Cooper.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is that the same Larry Doyle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, you know, of course, we all know that. Well, we all know, what's her name? Hayden, you know, the cheerleader from Heroes. But, you know, it's a really,
She's
really.
going to be known as a cheerleader, huh?
She is. In my eyes. I mean, everything else. Has she really done anything else?
She was in the new Scream, but okay, yeah, from Heroes.
Yeah, but back to the book. It's a really good book. The main character is Jim, well, the blue Martian, you would say. What's really good about it, it's like kind of like it's an alternate universe, and it's kind of like it's basically the world of mutants, atomic monsters, and B-movie legends, and they all go to school together. It's kind of like a throw of like Grease, but for mutants and monsters, and it's really cool. I like it. It's really funny. What else can I say about it? Go Mutants. If you like Larry Doyle, you're gonna like this book.
You probably thought you saw mutants, and you probably thought X-Men. That's probably why you picked it up.
Yeah, because Jim the Blue Martian kind of looks like Nightcrawler from X-Men. Well, he's like a James Dean mixed with like Nightcrawler.
Yeah, you see that on the cover actually.
Yeah, really good book. It's not so much, I would say, like Twilight. You know, kids.
No, I hope not.
Vampires going to high school.
Well, if it was, I don't think you'd be reading it anyway.
Vampires going to high school, but it's a cool spin on mutants and aliens going to high school, and I like it.
All right, so there you go. Those are our picks. Go Mutants by, who is it by?
Larry Doyle.
Yeah, that's Romo's pick. My pick, like I said, I got it last year at Ape. The Dinosaurs Are Dead, The Truth Behind the Extinction, Stephen and Travis Lindquist. Not for kids, but it's described as a kid's book, but not for kids. So those are our two picks for this week. I guess I'll have one next week. Romo won't be here. But now, again, I need you guys again. So just go to our website, to the book club section. It's on there. Or just send your suggestions to bookclub@thegeekspeakshow.com. bookclub@thegeekspeakshow.com. And I'll pick those.
Yeah.
It'll be Henry's pick and one of you guys' pick.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's our picks for this week. What else do we do? But let me take a quick break. When we come back, I will, I don't know, we'll think of something to do.
The Geek Speak Show will be right back.
Now you have another way to promote your geek product besides conventions. The Geek Speak Show. The Geek Speak Show has a loyal following that is just waiting for a new app for their smartphone, the most awesomest t-shirt to show off their geek pride, or
insert your product here.
Advertise on the show or on the Geek Speak website or on both, and you're guaranteed to reach the same audience you'd reach at your favorite con. Interested? Send an email to ads@thegeekspeakshow.com for more information and ad rates. Movie and TV studios, comic book artists and publishers and actors know to come on the Geek Speak Show to promote their projects. Isn't it time you used a show to promote your product? Send an email to ads@thegeekspeakshow.com.
The Geek Speak Show is conducting a search for the missing element. The Geek Girl's voice. Do you know the difference between Kim Kardashian and a Cardassian? Do you know that Han shot first? Can you explain Inception? Walter or Walternate? Grimm or Fringe? Use these and other amazing facts in discussions with the boys and especially with all the awesome guests on the Geek Speak Show.
All you've got to do is send an email to geekgirl@thegeekspeakshow.com with a link to your YouTube page, or send us an MP3 where you explain why you should be our Geek Girl co-host. It'd be great if you're here in the San Francisco Bay Area so we can have you in studio, but we can Skype it if you're not. So if you're a geek girl, or if you know one, and you're ready to show your knowledge to the world, send an email to geekgirl@thegeekspeakshow.com with a link to your YouTube page or an MP3 telling us why you should be our Geek Girl co-host. We hope to have our Geek Girl co-host in place by March, just in time for WonderCon 2012.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We're back on the Geek Speak Show.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed.
Welcome to the Geek Speak Show. I'm Romo. He's Henry. This is going to be my final goodbye.
Wait a minute.
What?
How about that guy next to you? Who is that?
Oh, that's Damien.
To quote everybody's favorite Star Wars character, how wooed.
But yeah, Damien. Packed show. Great show. A lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. We had a good time here.
But now it's my time to say goodbye.
You're going to leave?
I'm going to leave.
Thank God.
Dang, I thought it was going to be nicer than that.
Those of you who missed it, seriously, where are you going, Romo?
Sacramento.
To do what?
Tutor.
Pay his taxes?
Pay my taxes.
No, he's a scary thought. He's actually going to be shaping the lives of young Americans everywhere.
Yeah.
Young Jedis.
Young. I was thinking the same thing, too.
Young Jedis, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're going to be a Yoda, huh?
Nah, I think I'm going to be more like
tall.
a...
Yeah, no, he's too tall.
Obi-Wan. I'm going to be more of him.
Just remember his failing. He wasn't there for him, and he turned into Darth Vader.
Yeah.
But then again, he is the coolest, most iconic villain ever, so it's okay. So yeah, welcome back to the Geek Speak Show. Yes, yeah, he's a little sad. That's why there's really no feeling there. Now, Damien's not. He's just laughing. You just can't see him. We did the book club with thanks to everybody who came on for fan films. I almost feel like I can do one.
Yeah, me too. You're saying a Geek Speak Show fan films?
Yeah, why not?
Or have our own page and
everybody else does. Why don't we?
Well, if they want to, send it to us.
So let's thank everybody that came on. Fanboy Will from fanboytheater.com, Justin Berger, and Anthony Larice from Help I'm Alive, the web series coming finally very soon. The pilot's coming. If you are all going to WonderCon, we'll see you there. We'll see them there, and hopefully, fingers crossed, or sever the ones that not, you'll see the pilot. They'll be able to premiere it there.
Do you think it's too late to get passes to WonderCon?
From what I understand, they're almost sold out. Not quite yet, but almost sold out. Like I told Justin, I'm scared that when we get there, it's going to be as chaotic as Comic-Con is. Now, all of you have been there. All of you listen, you've been there. You know what chaos it is. It's fun, but it's still chaos.
Long lines.
Yeah, and so thank them. Also, Jeff Saamanen from creator, director, producer, 4 Villains, number 4 Villains, and Mr. Amani Channel, the Amani Channel, as he said.
Yeah,
I do remember he mentioned that. I do remember we used to tell him that in school. He should start his own TV station, call it the Amani Channel. I do remember that. But thanks to him, and don't forget, webvideochefs.com. He's giving you free lessons on how to do videos, how to put in effects. I did see some of them. He's showing you how to make a blur effect, how to do black and white, all kinds of stuff, so you can make your videos look better. Might use a few of myself.
One thing you missed was the audio side.
Yeah,
and that's where you specialize in.
Yeah, I mean, you guys want to know? Just email me. I'll let you know that for free too.
Yeah,
just because I like you guys. I like you. So thanks to those guys. And again, Geek Girl at thegeekspeakshow.com. Romo's going to leave us, not forever, just for a little bit. Send me a Geek Girl.
Yeah.
Or any geek guy, honestly. But definitely we're looking for a Geek Girl. We'd like to have her permanently in place for the rest of the year.
I'll just pay for one.
That's not a Geek Girl. That's something else kind of girl.
Yeah.
But Geek Girl at thegeekspeakshow.com. Send us a link to your YouTube channel or an MP3. So it's introducing yourself and saying, hey, this is what I like. I like Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars, Star Trek. Oh!
Princess Leia? What?
That reminds me. Too bad you're going to miss this. But that reminds me. I want to do that show that I was talking to you about where I want to discuss, is Star Wars dying and Star Trek obviously enjoying a renovation with under J.J. Abrams?
You know what? I would disagree, and we could have the whole show dedicated to that. But
exactly.
For me, I just want to say this: Star Wars is never dying. You see how cool, there's the Volkswagen commercial with Darth Vader, little kid Darth Vader. Darth Vader has been so iconic.
Just also one with the dogs.
But he's been
Star Wars has gone to the dogs,
right? He's used in so much of pop culture that. For me, I feel that it's cool. Hey, it's Star Wars, but to us fans, you feel like it's very mainstream now.
Yes, it's part of pop culture, but that's what I'm saying. Star Wars, when it started, like this, like being a geek, you're a little different than everybody else.
Yeah, people look at you
only
differently.
You know why Peter Parker can climb walls. Only you know who Captain America really is and who Batman really is. That's what I mean by that. Star Wars used to be, quote unquote, our thing. Now, like you said, the whole world knows it. You can go to grandma and say, may the force be with you. She knows exactly what you're talking about. That's what I mean by, is it just because there's no movies and the Clone Wars cartoons and all that? Is it just dying?
I feel that Star Trek is still part of us geeks and nerds, and it's the last hope that we have before we let it go to some toy company and whatever commercials that they have. I mean, it would suck if you have a cell phone commercial and it's Spock.
That would actually be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would.
Yeah,
but
that's cool.
You know what? If you guys want to send something to me, hey, Romo at the GeekSpeakShow.com.
Yeah, give him credit for that.
Yeah, I mean,
no, you can send it to my email address. Me.
Yeah, and then it'll never be answered. But like I was saying, seriously, I want to have a whole show where we discuss that. Is Star Wars dying? Are the fans still fans? What I mean by that is...
Oh, they're loyal fans. I mean, this month, The Phantom of the Menace in 3D. I think February 20th.
The Phantom Menace.
The Phantom Menace, sorry, but I think it's February 20th in theaters.
Next week.
Yeah.
No, the 10th.
The 10th.
It's next week. And that's also on our Facebook page. And I ask you guys, some of you have answered, but let me ask you all. You can send an email to me or just comment on our YouTube page when we post the show up. Leave your comments on there. You've seen the news where they're going to entice you to go by offering you Anakin Pod Racer glasses. The 3D glasses will look like Anakin Pod Racers. Marvel, Disney's getting into that too. They're going to give you Hulk, Iron Man, Captain 3D glasses to go see the Avengers in 3D. It's not making me want to go see Star Wars. Maybe the Avengers just to get the glasses. But I've been a big... my wife will tell you, anybody who knows me will tell you, I have always been a huge
Star Wars fan.
Like BJ Raji from the Packers-sized fan of Star Wars. It's been dead to me ever since the credits rolled up on episode 3.
Since Jar Jar Binks?
No, since the credits rolled up on episode 3. It's been dead to me. I didn't really care about for the Clone Wars cartoons. I didn't even buy the Blu-rays. Oh, I wasn't a hypocrite like all of you out there. Oh, I hate it. Yeah, over 1 million sold. Yeah, sure you hate it. Same thing here. I expect the same thing to happen. Everybody hates it. They don't like it, but it's going to make over 20 million just for a movie that everybody owns. You just bought it on Blu-ray.
I think it's just the experience that you want to participate in.
Star Trek I've always liked, and I really do like what JJ did. I know a lot of purists don't like it. They see it as a cowboy movie, too much of an adventure movie. Well, yeah, that's why I liked it.
That's why I liked it.
You can't see an 80-year-old William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy, William Shatner especially, rolling around in the dirt, because then you need help to get him back up.
Mm-hmm.
You can see Chris Pine doing that, though. You can even see Zach Quinto as Spock. Everybody, they're young actors, and they don't have to follow exactly what happened already. It's a new universe.
Geeks are very hard critics to judge things. We love to be hard asses,
entertained, and I've said it to producer Damon. He's he's a music geek also. Before he's a geek like us, I've said it to him. Our audience are like jazz listeners. Jazz listeners, and Amani mentioned it. It was a jazz station. The station we started. They used to call Amani and myself and everybody else that was on there if when we were reading the liner notes, if we missed somebody playing a triangle or somebody played a clarinet, they would call us and say, "Hey, you missed this, you missed that, or you don't know anything about the music." Same thing with the geeks here. If you don't know that the Millennium Falcon, what kind of ship it actually is, they'll call you on it. Remember when we first the pilot episode of the Geek Speak show, we had David Glanzer from Comic-Con on, and he said he described the costume, the Han Solo costume, and he had the Corellian stripe.
Yeah.
And we started talking about what the red and the yellow straps mean. They'll call you on that if you're wrong on it. That's what the geek listeners like. So I'm talking about those especially. To you guys, is Star Wars dead and you're jumping on this rebirth of Star Trek? Now that sounds like a jazz album, but the rebirth of Star Trek under JJ, are you jumping on that?
Well, Star Wars, we got the Old Republic that just came out, and a lot of people are liking that. There's a new revival to Star Wars, the new character, new villains.
Honestly, it's a fun game. It's not Star Wars.
No, it's not. But
to me, Star Wars is that right there behind you. Look,
yeah, I see
Han Solo, Princess Leia, Luke. That's Star Wars.
Once I feel that it needs a look. You gotta be creative and change with the times. I mean, you can't just be stuck on Darth Vader all the time. I like how they got a new villain.
Then end it.
Well, that's true. That's a good point. Actually, no, wait. They should just end it, but they can't because of the name sells.
Let's us end it then. Told you, we're gonna do a whole show on this thing. Too bad you're gonna miss it, or maybe you might make a cameo appearance.
I probably will.
So we'll miss you. We'll see you. You'll be back for WonderCon, I hope.
I will.
So we'll see you for that. In the meantime, geekgirl@thegeekspeakshow.com. Send me somebody. I don't want to be here all by myself. So say bye, Romo.
Cool, you'll have me.
What?
All more reason to leave.
Yeah. Well, all I can say is to quote Abed from Community. Cool.
Okay, never watched that, but okay. So I'll see you guys next week. Romo won't, but he'll still be here. Bye.
That's it for this week. Come back next week for an all-new episode of The Geek Speak Show. In the meantime, follow them on Twitter, find them on Facebook, subscribe in iTunes, and listen to past shows and special features on the Geek Speak Show YouTube page. YouTube.com/GeekSpeakVideos. We'll see you next week. Tell your friends about The Geek Speak Show.